So, Victor, here was Van Jones with advice to Joe Biden on what to do over the next 10 months.
What is the campaign going to look like?
Yeah.
Are there going to be debates?
It is going to be
I think that's an open question.
If I were Biden, I would stay hidden, and I'll tell you why. He doesn't inspire confidence, and he's not a great messenger for himself. There's something wrong with this campaign where we're somehow expecting Joe Biden, who frankly hid during the last campaign, to come out now and be Flash Gordon and save his own campaign. The people who are benefiting from the Biden economy, and they exist, should be empowered to speak.
Boy.
Stay hidden. It's good advice, no?
Yeah, he's right. And he could have added that it worked the first time because of COVID, and that was the excuse. And now he doesn't have the excuse of COVID. So it's going to be a little bit more problematic. I don't know what he means when he says the people who benefited from the economy should be speaking, given home mortgage rates are 7% and the prices for staple food, gas, rent are about 20 to 30% higher, and they have not gone down, even though the annual inflation rate's gone down. So I don't see anybody out where I live that's better off. They all detest the economy and what's happened to them, especially when even now they're paying over $4 a gallon for gas. So I don't see that. I don't think he wants them. But I guess what he's saying is that I think the subtext of what he was hinting at is that there should be an intervention, because if you're saying that he can't campaign and you're not going to have an excuse, then he's really saying that at the convention, it's your last chance to do something. And I think that do something would be, I don't know what that would be. It would not be the elevation of Kamala Harris, but it might be the intervention of Michelle Obama or Gavin Newsom or somebody, because I think Biden is declining at a geometric rather than an arithmetic rate. And I think it's getting worse by the week. And the time that he's not in the White House is increasing. I don't think we've ever seen a president that is working 3 to 4 days a week maximum, and not all day.
And just a few hours a day. Let me show you an example of the latest, Victor. He was on Tuesday in Virginia trying to say something about don't mess with the women of America. But take a listen to what it sounded like.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
What? Every day with the marbles in the mouth. You can't understand. I mean, when Van Jones is being very charitable when he says he's not an effective messenger, it's so far beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he's saying is, look, when we had high inflation, I covered for him. When the interest rates went up, I covered for him. When we see all the stuff going on in the Middle East and Afghanistan, I covered for him. When we see the crime going, I covered for him. When I saw the open border, I covered for him. When he's hid in the basement, I covered for him. But at some point, I'm kind of like the 51 intelligence authorities that lied about the lap. At some point, I can't do this any longer. And we got to do something. He's got to get out there and debate, but he can't get out there and debate. And yet we can't keep telling everybody that he's perfectly cognizant and there's no problem. And so I think he's trying to warn people either that he's not going to do it anymore, and or that they shouldn't do it anymore, or that Biden shouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
But
and find some more Trump's, effective messenger to really bring it home.
Yeah.
But really, the campaign is going to be based on scaring the electorate about ultra MAGA. That's very clearly what they're going to do. Yeah. Can't say I disagree with the attempt, right? Because you can't keep touting Bidenomics or the border. So it's going to be trying to scare people. But I will say credit to Dean Phillips, who is this Democratic challenger to Biden. He really only had to play in New Hampshire where Biden wasn't on the ballot for all sorts of reasons. Dean Phillips was. He wound up getting 20%, which was, okay, got 20%. I mean, Dean Phillips doesn't have any shot, but he's a nice guy. He came on the show, and I think he's an interesting man. He's a centrist, so I like centrists. And listen to what he said about the Trump electorate and what his party is not understanding in SOT 9.
I got to tell you guys, I went to a Donald Trump rally a couple nights ago. Never been to one. I had an event across the street. I saw the line of people waiting in the cold for hours. And I thought, what the heck? You know, I'm going to be a leader who actually invites people, doesn't condemn them. Met probably 50 Trump people waiting in line. Every single one of them, thoughtful, hospitable, friendly. all of them so frustrated that they feel nobody's listening to them but Donald Trump. A diverse crowd, people who had never been to a Trump event before. My party is completely delusional right now. We have a...
Right. They're completely delusional in characterizing these people as something to be afraid of, silenced, defeated, avoided. They do better to listen to them and try to address some of their concerns, which, by the way, would not include cutting down the razor wire. They don't get it. Dean Phillips is right.
No, I mean, at 5 this morning, I talked to a guy who was shredding brush on the almond orchard. And I had talked to a plumber yesterday, and I went to a used car guy and talked to him. Just normal business. You know what's so strange about it? They were all for Trump, but they're not judgmental people. They're open-minded. And they just are voting for him, not because of some cosmic theory, but because they feel that things were going their way 3 years ago, and they're definitely not going their way now. But the irony is, when you go up to the Silicon Valley people or the people on the Stanford campus, they are ideologue. They're set. They're intolerant. You try to talk to them, they get angry. They get ad hominem. And I think that's what Phillips was trying to say, is that you people don't understand that these people that you demonize as ultra MAGA and semi-fascist, when you go talk to them, they're very rational, logical people. They're just trying to find a way out of the dilemma that we're in. They want their kids to be able to buy a house. If their son goes into the army, they don't want them to be exposed to woke. They're tired of all these generals that are going in the revolving door and then lecturing people about how illiberal they are. They're tired of all this, and they have a point. And we are the people who are judgmental, not them. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty brave of him to say that. I really did.
Here's a great New Year's resolution. It's not too late, that you can actually keep, even if you only have 3 minutes in the morning. Introducing Gen 90, the new instant wrinkle treatment from Genucel. Genucel says that Gen 90 can reduce the appearance of wrinkles anywhere you use it. Eyes, forehead, crow's feet, laugh lines, and it can start working in seconds. Genucel says Gen 90 is 2 generations better than any immediate effects product, which is already super popular, and years ahead of the skincare market. Gen 90 technology is luxurious, nourishing, and silky smooth. And best of all, it starts working instantly. There's a reason why Genucel has so much more customer loyalty compared to other skincare brands. Gen 90 is on sale right now at Genucel.com, and it's included in their bestseller package. Don't go overseas to get harsh procedures for thousands of bucks. Try Gen 90. The results are guaranteed, or your money back. What do you have to lose? Make your fine lines and wrinkles disappear. And for the first time ever, order Gen 90 with every most popular package for over 70% off. Genucel.com/MK60. Genucel.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.